Welcome to this explainer. So today we're diving straight into something that honestly hits a little close to home for almost all of us, the silent, absolute exhaustion of overthinking. We're going to look at exactly how to break that invisible barrier and get your life back. If you've ever felt completely wiped out without moving a single muscle, yeah, you're in the right place. We'll break down how overthinking literally blocks you from taking action. And then we're going to walk through some highly practical, no-nonsense ways to finally master your mind.
Have you ever noticed this? You're just sitting there, totally fine. You don't actually have a problem in this exact moment, but your brain decides, hey, let's invent one. You're doing absolutely nothing, maybe just drinking some coffee, and boom, out of nowhere, your mind starts interrogating you. And it usually starts with this gem: what will happen tomorrow? Just like that, it yanks you right out of your peace and drops you into a completely unpredictable future.
And of course, your mind doesn't just stop at innocent curiosity. Oh no, it escalates. It takes that totally normal uncertainty about tomorrow and twists it, making you desperately ask, wait, what if I fail? Suddenly, a made-up scenario becomes this huge emotional weight. You aren't just wondering about the future anymore, you're actively stressing about your own inadequacy. It's literally like pre-living a disaster that hasn't even happened yet.
Then, the downward spiral really gets going. It starts projecting these deep-seated fears of judgment right onto the screen of your mind, asking, what if people laugh at me? Think about it. Maybe you just want to start a new project or speak up in a meeting, and suddenly, you're carrying the imagined weight of everyone else's opinions. Your mind is out here constructing a whole crowd of critics that do not even exist.
And then, the knockout punch. It paralyzes you with the ultimate fear. The voice whispers, what if my life just stays stuck exactly where it is? This is the one that really gets you. It makes any effort feel pointless, but doing nothing feels equally terrifying. You're trapped in this mental corner where every single option feels like a trap, caught right between the fear of trying and the fear of staying exactly the same.
So this brings up a pretty wild paradox. I mean, think about it. Physically, you might be doing absolutely nothing, just resting on the couch. But mentally, you are completely heavy, totally drained, just exhausted. You haven't run a marathon, you haven't lifted any weights, but you feel completely spent. Why? Because your brain has been running a marathon of worst-case scenarios. Your body is resting, but your mind is out there running a mental decathlon.
Look, we need to call this exactly what it is. Overthinking is not just innocent preparation. It's a literal disease that eats away your energy, your focus, and your happiness. But the absolute most dangerous part, and really the whole focus of our explainer today, is that it actively prevents you from taking action. It acts like a massive, invisible barrier, just holding you back from actually living your life.
Now let's bust a massive myth right here. People love to equate overthinking with intelligence. We tell ourselves, oh, I'm just analytical, I'm just being thorough. Actually, scratch that, it's not intelligence at all. It's rooted entirely in fear. Fear of failure, fear of the future, fear of judgment. We have this false belief that if we plan for every single agonizing possibility, we'll finally be safe. But spoiler alert, life is never fully predictable.
Since you can't control the unpredictable, trying to do so just traps you in your own head. And what does your mind do? It hits play on the worst movie ever. It uses your imagination against you, projecting these worst-case scenarios to convince you that everything is going to go wrong. It tells you you're weak, that a breakup is coming, that you'll lose everything. It's essentially a psychological horror movie, and your mind is the director, the writer, and the special effects team all rolled into one.
But then we hit this staggering reality. 90%. 90% of the worst-case scenarios your mind creates just to scare you, they literally never happen. Let that sink in for a second. We spend immense amounts of our physical and mental energy fighting imaginary dragons. The things keeping you up at 2 in the morning in a cold sweat are, for the most part, entirely fictional.
And because of all that, we arrive at the absolute biggest loss. Overthinking completely kills your present moment. By keeping you physically here but mentally trapped in a stressful, hypothetical future, it just steals your joy. It ruins the best parts of today, like a great dinner with friends or a quiet morning. Because you're too busy suffering over a tomorrow that probably won't even happen. When you lose the present, you kind of lose the whole point of life.
So, how do we fix this? The path to finding meaning and getting unstuck comes down to this incredibly simple philosophy. Think less, do more. I know, it sounds almost too simple, but it is deeply profound. Overthinking pulls you entirely away from doing, so the cure has to be the exact opposite.
We've got to swing that pendulum right back to reality.
The ultimate antidote, the absolute natural enemy of overthinking, is immediate action. The only way to silence that loud, negative, interrogating voice in your head is to physically move. When your body engages with reality, your mind is literally forced to stop imagining and start processing the real world. Action forces your mind to hit the mute button. It's a real game changer.
You really don't need to debate your mind. You just need to bypass it. Think about how this maps out in real life. If you're sitting there agonizing, should I join the gym? The antidote isn't making a spreadsheet of pros and cons. It's to just join. Should I start a YouTube channel? Just hit record. Should I study? Stop pacing the room and open the book. Action cuts the cord of overthinking instantly.
Section 2. The 5-second rule. Overcoming the mind's endless excuses.
Okay, let's dive into exactly how this trick works. Step 1, your mind gives you excuses. Let's say your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. for a workout, and your brain immediately whines that it's too cold. Step 2, before that excuse can take root, you simply count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step 3, on 1, you instantly start the action. You throw off the covers and just go. This brilliant little hack leaves zero room for mental excuses. If you give your mind more than 5 seconds, for sure it's going to trick you into staying in bed. Now, the 5-second rule is an amazing short-term tactical weapon, right? But we can't just run on adrenaline and countdowns forever. The absolute best long-term medicine for an overthinking mind is building a stable, predictable routine. Creating a simple routine completely removes all that daily confusion from your brain. Think about decision fatigue. When you have fixed times for waking up, working, learning, and sleeping, your mind doesn't have to spend any energy deciding what to do next. There's no empty space for overthinking to creep in. A routine gives your mind discipline, turning it from a chaotic worry machine into a stable, focused engine.
And this brings us right back to reality versus fiction. On one side, you have imagination, living in a hypothetical future with zero proof. Overthinking is basically just living in a bad imagination. On the flip side, you have action, living in reality with tangible proof and actual results. You have to stop living in your imagination because it provides zero proof of your worth. Action, though? Action creates undeniable physical reality that you can actually build a life on.
So here's a rule we all need to keep front and center. Don't ruin a good day by thinking about a bad tomorrow. We have to accept what we absolutely cannot control, take decisive action on what we can, and strictly follow this mindset to reclaim our happiness. Today is happening right now. Please don't sacrifice it to a tomorrow that hasn't even arrived yet.
Remember, your life only truly changes the moment you stop overthinking and start doing. Realize that your mind is just a tool. It's a brilliant tool, yes, but it is meant to be used by you to solve real problems. It is not meant to be used by fear to control you and keep you frozen. You are the one in charge of the whole shebang. So, as we wrap up this explainer on mastering the mind, I want to leave you with a final, absolutely vital choice. Will you remain a slave to your mind's imaginary fears, letting it drain your energy and steal your present? Or will you use the 5-second rule, build a solid routine, take immediate action today, and step up to become its master? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I challenge you, go take action right now.